I think the best kind of jokes are when you try to make a joke and then you kind of like halfway through give up and instead just say the punchline and then give a general explanation of what the joke was gonna be. Sometimes that ends up being funnier than actually saying whatever joke it was. If you don't get what I mean, it usually happens with puns. Here's a real life example that happened to me recently. Hey Andrew, have you seen our friend Bailey anywhere? No, I don't think so. Oh, well, I was gonna go look for him to ask him a question about a geography test. Oh, were you gonna ask him about a country on the eastern coast of Central America? With Belize. I was making a joke about Belize, the country of Belize. Oh, okay. Yeah, probably wasn't worth making the joke. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah, that was a joke that was kind of an inside joke anyway, because it only made sense if you knew Bailey and knew his name. That also wasn't exactly what happened, because something happened with our friend Bailey, and I made some pun about it, but I didn't want to make the whole joke to set it up, and I just said it. I don't remember what it was, though, so I just made up that whole thing about Belize. The actual thing was probably better. You know, what I just said, Bailey made sense. Get it? Instead of barely, it Bailey made any sense. Bailey. Bay leaves. You know, that's a type of, like, leaf that you can find in things. Used for flavoring and stuff. I'm sure there's a joke there, but I'm just going to tell you about it rather than making the joke myself, because that's what I said I'm going to do this video. I mean, really, when you come up with an idea for a good joke, but you just have the punchline, you really don't have to say the rest. If you just say that punchline and then explain the rest of it, like explain some possible ways you could have set that up, that's kind of enough. It's amusing. Most of the time when you're joking around in conversation, you're not going for actually being really funny. You just want to be amusing, you know? I'm here today to teach how to put the you in amusing. Was that amusing? I hope so. If that wasn't amusing, I'm doing a bad job. For example, here are some jokes that you could take and develop into better jokes if you wanted to, but instead I'm just going to supply the punchlines, so hopefully that's kind of amusing. First of all, something about introverted peanuts coming out of their shells. That would be funny. Maybe a joke about how ink cartridges always win outdoor marathons because they're always running out. And maybe one where you're talking about TV remotes and you get annoyed at it and then you're like, hey, I'm supposed to be the one pressing your buttons, TV remote that I'm talking to, because you're anthropomorphized, but actually you're actually just personified because anthropomorphication is for animals, not objects. You know, it seems like a lot of my videos lately have been about being lazy. It's probably not a big deal. I could probably come up with more to say about this, but who needs to? And then the punchline is something about how coming up with a punchline would be extra work, so maybe I should start skipping that step too, and then just all of my jokes are going to become literally not saying anything, because if I said the punchline, that's too much work. It's kind of amusing without the punchline if you just do the setup and let everyone else infer the punchline, but it's also just amusing with just the punchline, so yeah, I mean, you don't really have to say either part of a joke in order for it to be somewhat amusing, so I'm just going to stop. My jokes from now on are going to be like that. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. You know, I could also just start every video like that and then end it right there and have you kind of infer the rest of the video from there and just start with the ending. I think that's a good idea too. I'll see you tomorrow.